Today we're going to look at the 425 air-cooled ice maker. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take out the fan on this machine, the fan and the fan motor. To do that, we're going to take off the water reservoir so that we can access the screws that hold the bracket that hold the fan in place. All right, we're first going to take out these two Phillips head screws that hold the water assembly in place. So I've taken out the screws that hold the bracket, and just for reference, the front screw here going into the condenser, that's an 832 thread. The one going down into the base is a 1032 thread. Now we're going to take the whole assembly and move this out of the way so that we can access the screws that hold the fan bracket on. Alright, so I've taken out the two 1032 screws that are down in the base with just a standard screwdriver. For the two screws that are on the other side, I'm going to use a long screwdriver. In this case, I've just put together a few smaller screwdrivers, put those together, taped them together, and that allows me to get down in kind of deep into the machine here so I can get at the screws on the other side. So with all of the 4 screws removed, we can pull the fan out. I'm going to take the bracket, twist it sideways, and then I can get the fan out. Now the fan is held onto the motor with a unique nut, and I'm going to use a kind of a universal socket. It's called a gator socket. I'm going to use that to pull this off of here. Alright, so I've loosened the nut up with my universal gator socket, taken the nut off, and then the fan comes off. Alright, so if we're replacing the fan, we'll take the fan off of the bracket. We're going to use a 1/4-inch wrench and ratchet off those screws. Alright, if we're replacing out our fan motor, we've got our wiring here, our output coming from the board, a couple of spade connectors. We're going to undo those connectors. Alright, putting our fan back on the motor. Again, we're using our universal gator socket here. We're going to tighten that up and get it good and tight. Alright, when you're putting the fan back in place, mounting the bracket back down to the base, on some versions of these, it does not have a stiffener going across between the two legs of the fan bracket, and it can be a little difficult making sure that the screws are lined up in the holes. What I like to do is get all of the screws started first before I go ahead and tighten them down. Alright, so I'm putting my water reservoir and bracket back into the machine. Again, we've got a 1032 screw going down into the base of the ice maker and a 832 going into the side of the condenser.